Welcome back to my series on Transport Fever 2. I'm in the northern region today, up at Basildon, Bolton and Bracknell. I will be focusing my attention up here today uh, in the lead up to the year 2000. Let's press play and get this session underway. Before I do anything up here, I would like to update you on a couple of changes that I made to the map just recently. Uh, Here in Maghull, this platform on the left used to just service trains in one direction to Hemsworth, but now it services trains in both directions for the conmats there. And I also put a road bridge across the railway line there so we don't have a crossing. Down here, I changed at Hemsworth, this intersection here. The trains used to cross each other's paths, and now they are independent of each other. I've still left the crossing there for the future if I put more trains on this line, and if they need to cross in the future. But it's a very quiet line just down here that connects to Staines here. So it's not a very busy line. There was one other change that I wanted to update you on. What was it? It was, oh no, that's right. It was down here at Alsager. I had a platform at this crude oil that is now being trucked across to the oil refinery. It was a platform that was unused, and I've deleted the platform and adjusted the curve so that it's a nice steady curve now. Also updated the bridge, and on either side of the bridge, it's a lot more gradual incline on both sides, so that the trains have a better curve in this area, and they also have a better incline across the bridge. A big update that I've done on the map are these Kenworth trucks. I have the Volvo trucks that I'm using primarily on the map, but it turns out that the little tipper trucks only carry 28, and these Kenworth dump trucks carry 35. So a lot more efficient with the higher capacity. So basically every tipper truck on the map, I don't think I've missed any, but I have roamed around the map and upgraded all of these to the the Kenworth set of trucks is from the deluxe package, so they're not base game vanilla, but they're base game, but from the deluxe package, and they're a very nice truck pack. But the Volvo still beats them on the other types of trucks volume wise. So I have made that adjustment. A quick update on the new Woodham construction materials that we worked on last episode, and it's now shipping $199, and the Maghole construction that was the construction materials that were in the town have basically worked all their way down to almost zero. We have a good amount of stone coming up from the south now. As it upgrades, more will come up, and they're coming up on the coal train. But what I've done is I've upgraded to these newer engines that were unlocked just recently, and this used to be the stone shunter, but it's now a full length stone train with the bigger engine on it, and that's because it's a 400-meter train now, and so you'll see that it takes up the full platform, and it'll probably pick up a full load here on this trip. So we need the extra power from the engine for the extra length, and that should be good for the future. So a lot of this work that I'm doing is future proofing the map for the year 2000, because when we lead into the year 2000, we are going to have upgraded trains that travel faster, and we'll have upgraded rail cars that can carry more. So in upgrading the tipper trucks, I noticed that my Volvo set of trucks are going to expire in the year 2000. And so I won't be able to upgrade these trucks in the future to the larger capacity curtain side trucks. These little tiny box trucks, they carry 28, but the curtain sides carry, I think, 40 or 36, something like that. So we've got, yeah, so you can see that they expire their build date in 2000. And so, yeah, the capacity on the curtain side trucks is 40. So I will need that extra capacity in the future. But after 2000, I'm not sure what trucks will be available to me after the year 2000. I do have some other modded truck sets in, the man truck and the Scania. And so I may be able to upgrade to those in the future. But for now, what I've done is I've put these curtain size trucks on many of the delivery lines that'll give me the option after 2000 to, I won't be able to upgrade to them, but I will be able to duplicate them to make more of them on the line. And so today I am focused here in the north, and I really want to upgrade a lot of the truck lines servicing the resources and train lines that are servicing the resources as those resources are now increasing. We're going to have a lot more production on the map, and so I really want to beef up my truck lines and the rail lines, not necessarily in between towns at the moment, but bringing the raw resources into the productions. So, I'll probably want to upgrade some of these engines as well. And we have I'm looking for con mats. I will also need logs in a log train in this area because that's going to start to overflow. But we'll start with the con mats. I think this is probably the con mats train here. They both look the same, so it's hard to tell. Yeah, Basildon Construction to Bolton. That's the one I want to duplicate. Do I want to upgrade the engine first, or do I want to just leave it as the GP9 for now? I think I'll just leave it as the GP9 for now and just put another train on the line. Because I'm not too sure with some of these trains. I want to leave my options open for the future on upgrading them. But some of them are really obvious that I want to upgrade. The gondola trains I really want to upgrade to the newer, stronger engines. You may have also noticed that all of the train lines up in the northern region here have already been upgraded to high speed lines. And again, I'm future proofing this area with engines that will be able to go faster than 120. We're going to do a jump from 120 as the base rail car speed up to 160 at 2000. And so that's what I'm getting ready for. I've still got my maintenance set on very high. And while I'm spending this sort of money on new vehicles, I'm going to switch it back to normal. And the reason for that is a lot of these lines won't actually make money for a little while. So any new vehicles that I'm putting on the line, it will take a little while for them to start generating some income for me, especially the trains. So And in some cases, the trucks might be traveling a distance to get to their pickups. So just in this transition, it's probably a good idea that I just scale back to normal at the moment. Um, and then once I'm finished this process, I'll switch it back up to very high. That normal means that I'm paying 75% maintenance costs, and when I'm at very high, I'm paying 125% maintenance cost. So my intention here is to focus on the truck lines especially, and the train lines that are servicing these resource lines. Um, and then stage two will be to focus more on the production lines and the city lines. So and if I can get the north settled today, I'll be able to move down into the larger central and southern regions. And I won't really have to worry too much about the north in the sense that I can come back to it later and see how it's going. But this is, I would say that this is probably my smallest region on the map. It's my easiest region to deal with. So I'm starting with it. Um, and then I won't have to worry about it. And then when we cross over to 2000, I'd rather cross over to 2000 when I'm, say, down south, where I've got my biggest cities like Kendall and Staines, Swindon. They're all huge cities down there, um, and whereas my cities up the north here, they're really just Bracknell's my big city here in the north, and it's kind of isolated to a certain degree from the rest of this area. Um, and so it's a lot easier to deal with up here. Where are those trucks coming from? I don't have a truck station, a truck depot anywhere around here, do I? This is my closest one just here. Oh, look at that. So these logging trucks are coming from Basildon and they're going to travel all the way down here and then cross the tracks and then run along up here. Okay. Might have been easier just placing a truck stop up here. I don't know why I don't have one up here, but I can live with that. It's a bit of a trip for them, but it's not the end of the world. Uh, so it looks like our our trucks are pretty good up here in the north now with those few upgrades that I've just done. These engines, I think, with the raw materials like oil and crude and coal and iron, I like to have my strongest engines on those lines typically. So I think we should upgrade from the GP9 to the C40. I think that's a much better option. Um, and we'll do it on both of them. And you will notice there that there are a couple of new electric engines that have unlocked just recently. One of them is a base game and the other is a modded um, electric train. None of my lines are electrified yet. I would like to still stick with diesel at this point, but I might select my passenger lines in the future to be electric. And we have an issue here with just a single platform. So a lot of these truck stops will probably need a second platform just to make it easier for them to line up, to load up, and they'll be able to get out, in and out of the truck stations much quicker. Uh, they're just resetting themselves while I'm adjusting this. I need to see only visible, and then I get to pick the line much easier. We'll switch it on 1, and now they will deal with that overloading issue much quicker. Yeah, that's a much better option. And we'll even put a couple more on just to work that down for now. And here comes our new diesel engine for our fuel lines. It's carrying, these tankers have been coloured in sort of a old rusty type colour. I don't mind that colour scheme actually. For the tankers, that's probably a nice one if you want to have sort of an older line effect. So we'll probably have some overloading issues here as well. But they're unloading there, and they both have their own line, their own entry. So they might be able to deal with that all right. Otherwise, we'll put an extra platform in there. We've got trucks coming from up here going down to that new line. So we'll also need to deal with train lines that are working the raw materials, the resource lines, and focus on them as well today. And so this is a fairly simple line, but if I upgrade the engine here, I think this line will be serviced better. You also see the different color schemes there on the rail cars. So I've got some original colors of the black, and then some darker browns and some lighter browns. And I was just experimenting with different types of cars there for the gondolas, just to have some variation on the map. So like this end of the map up here, I've sort of got much older rail cars in this section of the map than shiny brand new ones in other areas. Just gives a different feel to this area. That's what I was going for anyway. We'll put a little bit of ground platform down here. It just, especially with no warehouse space for the station buildings, it's just got that really small one there. We'll just add a little bit of sort of medium size ground platform here. And ground storage. It's not ground platform, it's ground storage. And what that allows is, just in passing, if I'm flying over this area, because I typically don't play with the HUD icons on, it just makes a real mess of my map. I just don't like playing with them switched on. I don't tend to turn them on very often, but I can just fly over and see if they're overloaded or not. And just, I think I'll just preempt loading problems here with a short platform. With these longer trucks, with the little tiny tippers that I had, they could queue up with just the one platform, and it really wasn't a problem. But I think with these longer Kenworth dump trucks, then that's where the problem lies. They take up about as much space as two of the small tippers. So if I double these up, they can stack, and I won't have this huge queuing problem in the future. And probably do the same for unloading here as well, and just double up the platforms. I think that's just probably a smart choice with this changeover of truck types. And again, I've got some trucks in the future modded trucks that will come in. I'm not sure of dating when they'll come in, but I do know that I will lose the Volvo trucks in 2000. So I do have the same modder that makes the Volvo trucks has also made a package for the MAN trucks and for the Scania trucks. And so I've got both of those packs in as well. I'm just not sure of the dates. I'll probably need to double check that they're active on that they've been activated, those truck packs, and probably have a look at what dates they come in, because I might not have that much of an issue if they overlap nicely. We are going to have a problem with these logging and steel trains. So again, just want to make sure that there's no waiting time on these. There used to be a waiting time, and there used to be a level, like, yeah. So I don't want them bringing back any logs. For some reason, he's brought back logs with him, which is a little strange. So I'll make sure that they can't pick anything up from Bolt and Cargo to start with. And then we've got 3 trains on the line. So I think I'll upgrade these trains with the C40s as well. The other issue, I guess, with the GP9s is their top speed is 105. Well, on this line coming back, it's a decent trip from Bolton to here. And so if they're restricted to 105, I'd rather them do 120 on the way back. And with the horsepower upgrade with these C40s, they can get up to speed quicker as well. So especially with their weight on. So I probably find that a lot of the lines across the map will upgrade to these engines, where there really will be a benefit to having them. And I don't know what trains I'm getting in the future. I don't know the trains that well into the 2000s. I've only played into the 2000s once, but I do know that 2000 it sticks in my mind as a big jump in capacity and speed. So everything today is designed to make that transition next year. We're April 30, 1999. So, we're about to cross over into 2000. So I will know very shortly what the situation is. I'm trying to preempt it a little. So these steel and logs and planks lines, they will work a lot better now. Okay, our grain line. This is going to be a problem because I'm going to upgrade this. It's only a very short line. I don't think it'll get as much benefit from this engine as what the other lines will, but we've got a real build-up of grain here. And I'll upgrade the engine just so that when I purchase the new one, I've got both of them the same. I think we're going to have a problem. From memory, this is really just a single line. I've tried to separate this grain line, which is now overflowing. So I should put some ground storage in. Oh, look what that's doing. It's a bit weird. That's because it needs to attach to a platform. And that platform there is really just a link to the farms and the sawmill truck stop. So I'll need to put some platforms in here, not for a train to stop at, but to attach some ground storage areas here. And again, it's a visual thing for me that I would have seen the overflow immediately without clicking on the platform with those ground storage areas in. And I think I'm going to have an issue with the two trains because I've tried to keep the grain and food line away from the steel and logs line. Oh, these trucks need a few more. This is a huge line connecting to Woodham via truck. So we'll throw half a dozen of those on there. That's building up as well. Here's our Conmatch train. We'll need to double him up. Oh, we've already doubled him up. We have already doubled him up. So we will engine upgrade him because that's a long trip from the stone quarry all the way up the other end. I think they will benefit from, and that's only a 310 meter train. And I'm just thinking, this platform here is much bigger than that. It's a 400 platform. But I might look at that in a little while because I do need to deal with this grain problem, I think. With this new train coming out, this is probably my biggest issue that's about to crop up. It's not a problem right now because they're both heading in the same direction. But I also don't even think this line is really signaled because you don't need any signals if you've got a single track with one train on it. Yeah, there's no signals there. And I want to avoid crossing over. Well, that's a little bit weird with these trucks, but the trucks don't normally cross here. I don't have any trucks crossing here. It's just that I bought some trucks. They're coming out of the truck stop there. Yeah, so here's our original grain train. I don't think there's any signalling along there. It's all single track. It used to cross over and use the steel and logs line there, but I just made one single long train, which meant I could isolate it and not interfere with that line. And now this is going to be a problem, isn't it? Well, I guess it's not a big problem. I mean, are these trucks ever going to have an ability to cross here? Probably not. They're probably going to be waiting a while. But I guess the simple fix is just to use this track here and double track it on this side so they've got a passing lane. And that's a simple fix. We'll just run a track all the way up here off the station. I have to remember to pick the high speed rails from now on because this whole area, we don't want catenary. No, we're sticking with diesel for now. And we just cut short here and then hopefully there's enough room for them to pass each other. These are 400 meters. That train is over the platform, or have I just stopped it early? But there's enough room for them to pass here. If I put a signal to the right here and a signal to the right down here, but I won't need a crossover. I just need to join the left track to the right track. Yeah, that's perfect. And then a signal on the right here will force them to use each side. And those trucks got across, that's good. And it'll still be isolated from the steel line. That won't be a problem. Okay, that should work good. Down this end, I could put a passing line here and bring them in here. This is already a triple switch down here, so I won't be able to use that switch, will I? But I do have a lot of grain building up. That's why I have those ground storages there. I can quite clearly see it. And these trucks are dealing with this just fine. What have we got down here? Crude building up, can see that. And we've got a train. Now this used to be a shunter, but I did upgrade this recently from the shunter to the BR218. I'm not sure that it's dealing with it. It might be just playing catch up. We'll have to wait and see whether that gets better or worse. The fuel down this end is fine. We've got, again, this engine had already been upgraded just recently as well. So this fuel line, I think I'd already fixed that fuel line up. Looks like a lot on the platform. It's not a huge amount. Yeah, it's got a decent amount on it. But I think that's a train that's just come in. All those trucks just filled up and they're starting their delivery run. So I think that just looks like a lot because the train just unloaded. Look at this. This is being dealt with beautifully. No problems there. Are they stacking in here a little bit, but not too bad at all. That's working all perfect. That's working fine down this end. All right, so this oil line is working fine. We don't have too much of a build up on the platform. Our coal train has been recently upgraded and it's dealing perfect with that. No build up at all. Logging trucks. I missed these guys, did I? I must have missed them. Okay. So we'll double these guys up. That's a simple fix. Can I fit another platform here? Because based on the other lines, I think I'll need one. Let's see if we can squeeze one in without hitting that rail line. Should be good. Yeah, no problem at all. Okay. I think we might be almost done here in the north. These guys, yep, double platforms working really nicely there. Unloading is working really nicely there. We've got a couple of new trucks coming out of here. Oh, that line must be reversed because they're going into that truck stop to unload before they've even loaded. We have an issue with logs here. It's not a coal and iron issue. It's definitely a logs issue. But I recently put another train on this line, so they are in the process of working that down. There was more on the platform here previously. This line could do with a little bit of help, but all they're doing is shifting from here to the steel mill. Just like it could have been a truck line, but I already have so many trucks going in around that area, and I have a train line along this side. It just sort of made sense to just have this short train line here. And it's dealing with both coal and iron, and now it's a 400 with a better engine, and I have a warning, and it's the grain line. Because I put a passing line only on one side, and they are going to clash on this side. I was hoping that they would pass each other each time on the other side, but of course they do, and then they need to pass each other on this side as well. Yeah, and we have a triple point there, so I can't use that. You can't get 4 connections into a single point. So we'll start from this side, and we'll just make a passing line on this side. I just need to make sure it's long enough, right? Because I think it's a 400-meter train. And we'll bring it in as close as we can to this point. That's good enough. And I think I need to signal this on the right on both sides again. Yeah, see, if you don't signal it, it still tries to run a single line because it's the shortest distance between. It's trying to be smart by doing the shortest distance in between. But with 2 trains on it, we do need a signal. 1 on each end. And that should fix that issue. We will do a weed cleanup on this new line. I try and get in the habit of doing my weeding as I put in extra lines. Otherwise, it just gets totally out of control. And you can imagine if you're doing upgrades to a whole area and putting in extra lines and you don't do it, then it just becomes a chore later on. And if I do it when I build it, it's so much easier. So much easier. And then you can pick up little spots that you miss like that. Okay, well, I think once this is fixed, I think this area to the north will be a lot better. So before I finish this episode, I have been working on my own map, and I am considering starting late 1800s, 1900 maybe start. I think a 1900 start on my own map. And I've also been working on cleaning up the Race to the North map for console. And I'm almost finished that cleanup as well. So I'm not entirely sure which map I'll start with first. I don't have a lot of interest. So I think I'm just going to pick the map, obviously, that I want to do first. And, you know, if I'm enjoying that map, whichever one I choose, I'll stick with it. And if it doesn't turn out the best, then I'll switch to the other one. I'll continue playing on this into the 2000s and do a huge upgrade for our future trains that we get here, and take this map to its ending, you know, probably present date. I'm aiming for 2025 is what I'm aiming for as an end date for this map. So a few more episodes here in the future, but don't be surprised if you see something new from me in the next week or two. I might even, I'll more than likely start the new map. Here's an upgrade we need to do. Those trucks eventually made it to this logging camp, but it needs a second platform here. Yeah, don't be surprised if I start the new map before I finish with this one. I don't mind if they overlap a little. I wouldn't mind getting started on whichever one I choose. Yeah, I'll get started on that maybe next week. which might be a couple of episodes away on this map. So they're probably, when I think about it, they'll probably almost cross over, because by the time I record, edit, and then release a first episode on a new map, you know, that's usually probably 2 or 3 episodes here. So, you know, they might actually end here and start up, because I don't see that I'll share too many more episodes on this one. I will share the 2000 crossover, especially in the south. But until then, I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.